Welcome, I'm Ingrid Carlsen, and today we are going to make more scrap busters. We're going to make some projects that you can mass make and have ready to add to your next journal. So I am so happy that you are here with me today, and I thank you for giving me your time. Let's get started. I'm going to pull out a few supplies, starting with the, main event, which is going to be my Dollar Tree and Daiso, which I'm lumping together, stamps. And then I'm going to just grab, since this is a scrap buster, then I am going to grab scraps that are on my desk. I also have this tray here that has tags in here, some lace, doilies, and I might grab more stuff, but we're going to go ahead and start with this. What you're going to need is book page. So I want to use these up, and I'm not going to worry again about what this is going to say, but I am going to cut these down a little bit. And I've talked about this before. I like to start any pages that I use with book pages with the text. And these are not 100% even. And you don't have to get rid of these because they have the page numbers, which I think these are great. So we're actually going to stick them here and maybe we'll use them. I like using these see-through rulers. And I'll probably be cutting these down more, but this kind of gives you an idea of what we're doing. Okay. So now these can be made to your specifications. So if you have a smaller page, so for example, if you're working on like a little book, you would want the width of this to be small enough to fit in here. Now, if I'm working in something like this, then this is a fine width, this or anything larger than this. So that's how you'll decide what you want to do. I actually think, I'm going to put this, I think we're going to stick with this, but I am going to, let's see. I'm going to cut down the bottom just a little. So I still want a little bit of blank space, but not as much as it has. Okay. And I love the edge that gave me all around, and these are going to go so quickly. So what we're going to do is just start folding them up like this. They're all stuck. Okay. And if you want to be even, then you can line them up. That's not really important to me since I'm mass making these. And I don't have to just use these on one project. These can be used throughout different journals. And depending on how neutral you keep it, the more you can use it on different. Oh my goodness, this one does not want to budge. There we go. Oh, okay, so on this one, we're going to turn it around. And on this, I love the chapter. I think we're going to leave it. And we're going to go up a little higher on this one. Okay. So now that we have our pages ready, because book page is, especially these book pages are pretty thin, I'm going to round my corners, but I'm going to line them up and do, it looks like 3 at one time. That way it'll go through my corner rounder a little easier. I've thought about marking my corner rounder so I don't always have to sit here and look to see where the 1/2 inch and where the 1/4 inch is, but I haven't done it yet. But I'm wondering, anyone out there, do you guys do that? Do you have it marked, or do you just look every time? I feel like it would cut down on the time. I know it's not that big of a deal, and that's why I haven't done it, I guess. Okay. So now we're going to get started. Eventually I am going to glue down the 2 edges here, but for now I'm going to leave it open and we're going to start stamping. Going to use this basket that I have different coffee and tea dyed, avocado dyed papers. I'm going to just stamp on the surfaces and then I will be back. I had to hop on and show the detail of the Dollar Tree stamps. They're really good. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I mean, even this one, which I think I messed up and I had to do a double so you can see the ghosting. That was my fault. But you can see how crisp every little detail is. I wanted to keep this stamping pretty neutral, but I decided to take out this stamp pad that I've had for I don't even know how many years, but anyways, it's like a kind of rust color, and so I'm just going to go through and stamp it with dates and letters and numbers to give it a little more interest. These are the prints that I've come up with so far. You can see my hands are all inky and dirty. And what I'm going to do is just grab one of these and I'm going to start like pulling some pieces and just starting to play with them. To mimic the perforated edge, I'm just going to take my hole punch in the smallest setting, and I'm going to punch holes and then just snip the edges so that it looks like it's paper that's been torn out of a notebook. So I've got this cluster built up, and just to kind of dissect it a little bit, I have a background page or piece that is going to be for interest. I like to have letters or numbers on it, and then I've built up my little cluster here. And I believe that I have some of these labels that are freebies. I don't know what colors they are, but if you check out underneath this video, it'll say see more. Click on that, and then you can see the description down below, and look for my link tree where I have all of my freebies. So now the only thing I'm going to add to this is maybe some lace. I think might be interesting poking through. And I think on this, because I'm getting kind of too big with this, I'm going to cut this piece off because I can still use this for something else. Okay. And now this gives me a little more wiggle room. And I think that this lace is a little stark, so I'm just going to grab some brushed corduroy. And I like that a lot better. I think that it gives it more interest. I'm going to cut the lace. When the cameras aren't on, I'm more like a mad scientist, cutting and snipping and stuff's going everywhere in the room. When I have you guys rolling, it's a little bit harder. My thoughts don't catch up with my with my head. Okay. Yeah, I think I like that a lot better. And I'm going to, I know I already have staples here, but I'm going to go ahead and just staple it. Let's go right here. And then I'm going to do these kind of assembly style. And so I'll just put this over to the side, and then at the end, I'll make sure that it's not missing anything. Like I can add, I'm looking here, maybe something back here to cover up the book page. Maybe I want the book page there, I'm not sure. And so I'm just going to stick this to the back. Also, by not gluing it down, you have room. So let's say I wanted to stick this here. You have room to do so. And so this gives you also a time to stop, take your eyes off of it, work on something else, and then go back to it because you'll see it with fresh eyes. And I'm going to put you guys on fast forward and work on the other clusters. So here are my finished pieces, and on some of them I glued them down like this one, you can see, and then on some I stitched the sides down. So on all of them I added a little bit of stitching because I think it adds so much personality to it. But this is a really great project, especially if you feel stuck. If you feel like you don't know where to go next, make some of these little clusters. Don't think about it and just put pieces together. If it's not your favorite piece that you've ever made, number one, it's not in a journal, so you can just put it to the side, let it permeate and gain character as it sits there. And when you go to look back on it, you'll probably end up loving it. That's usually what happens to me with my stuff. And so I think these are a really great project. I think that they are so much fun. I was actually kind of sad when it ended. I was like, oh no, I'm all done. I thought I had more pages somewhere. Let me know down below what you think, and how would you use these in your journal? What would you stick inside? Would you stick some secret notes or some Bible verses, your favorite quotes? What would you put in there? I can't really decide which one's my favorite, but I think that they're all great and can be added to really any journal because they're pretty colorless. You know, there's some pops of color, but really there's not a definite theme. And so I think these could go into any journal really well. So I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And again, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for joining me and for watching this video. Thank you for all of your kind words and your likes and all that. I so appreciate every single one of you. I love you guys. Until next time. Bye.